Hello, welcome to Sheepdog Says. I'm Sheepdog, and today I want to talk about things that people find normal for them that they then find out when they're older are completely abnormal and weird. Now, I don't have anything major like that for myself. The weirdest thing that I've ever had in my entire life was the fact that from about the age of 1 up until some time recently, I had a black patch of hair on the side of my head. The rest of my hair is brown, but just on the side, where about my hand is, it was just a jet dark black circle. Now, as you can see, although I've got something in my hair today, it's not there anymore. There is no black patch. I don't know when it disappeared. I don't know how it disappeared. I don't know whether it'll just come back when it gets sunnier out and my hair changes colour slightly or whatever. Maybe when I get a haircut it'll be there. But honestly, from about the age of 1 to at least the age of 30, there's always been this black patch of hair on the side. And I thought nothing of it. I never, people used to point out, I go for a haircut, I'd be sat there and a person would go, "What's that in your ear?" And they'd start picking at it and trying to cut it out. And I'm like, "Leave it alone, it's just a black patch of hair." I'd always get people saying to me, "Oh yeah, I know someone with a white patch in their hair." And I'd say it's not the same thing, that's just dead hair. When people get hit on the head sometimes they just develop a white patch in their hair that means that that bit has been hit and it doesn't grow properly anymore. Mine was a genuine just patch of black hair. The rest of the hair was brown, that patch was black. It's something to do with genetics fighting it out in the womb, and the genetics for black hair and the genetics for brown hair fought, and normally in most people the brown hair would win. In mine it kind of won but gave up, and this bit of black hair went ha and succeeded in staying put. But I didn't know that was abnormal. I'm disappointed to find that it's gone. I asked my wife to have a quick look because I thought if I show her I've got it sort of thing, it'd be interesting, but it's not there anymore and I don't know when it disappeared, so I'm a little bit gutted. I used to get mocked for it quite a lot at school. People would say I was like a Dalmatian, that was like a dice, all sorts of silly things like that, which are quite entertaining when I think about them now, but at the time they were quite offensive. What prompted the conversation was my sister was asking me about things and we were having a chat. And we were talking about, so I'd read an article about how people who hear voices, who have like a mental illness who hear voices, obviously they hear spoken language, but people who can't hear because they're deaf and have never heard, they will sense the language in sign language or in whatever way they communicate. So they'll, in some cases, see a hand signing to them to tell them things that they don't want to hear, and it's like an echo in their mind kind of thing. And we were chatting about that and about nightmares and things, and she reminded me that her partner, my brother-in-law, he can't think in pictures. His brain doesn't work like that. His brain thinks in facts and words, and the story is told to him. So he will just think, oh, Sheepdog has blue eyes and brown hair. He won't think this is what he looks like. He can't picture my face in his head. He can't picture my sister's face. He can't picture his daughter's face. I said to her, how does he kind of recognise people out and about? And she said, well, he knows the facts. He knows that's what so-and-so looks like when he sees them. But he couldn't sit there and photograph you in his head and go from there. And it does make me wonder, if he's at the zero spectrum part of that, he can't do it. I'm pretty sure artistic people are kind of at this further end where they can do it, and it's like, everything's really vivid in their minds and they can see everything. I'm kind of in the middle. I can kind of picture stuff, I can doodle, whatever, but it baffles me. We've had lots of conversations about, like, when he's having a nightmare, does he have dreams about someone telling a very mean story or a scary story? Or is he actually seeing some sort of horrific, scary thing? But he didn't know that was a thing. He didn't know that was abnormal for him until he'd been married to my sister and was chatting to her about dreams or something. I don't know. Her and his dad and him were chatting about what they think and how they think about things, and neither of them they both have the same brain type, I guess, that thinks in words and doesn't think in pictures. He made me think as well, like, obviously people like Kev are colourblind. How did they know they were colourblind? Were they just sort of looking around and, I don't know, somebody was standing in red and in front of a green screen and all they saw was a face? I just don't see how you wouldn't know, like, if it all just blend together, would you just not see half of the stuff in the picture? How do I know I'm not colourblind? And some people have like super sensitive colour vision, so they see loads of different blends of everything. And again, I just don't know how you'd know any different, because looking around, everything just seems colourful to me. It seems weird. A really funny one that I once found out about my own kids, and all kids, is children. I don't even know what age this happens. I should test it on Lamp Up, but she's in bed now. Kids can't just do that. They either close both eyes or open both eyes. They can't do one or the other independently of each other. It's hilarious trying to watch a kid try and do it because they're like just pulling these funny faces. And I don't know when they learn to do it. I don't know when they suddenly decide they can. My dad can wiggle his ears, and I don't know how he does it. I swear, I don't know if in my head I remember being able to do it, and it was kind of like a jaw thing, but I can't do it for the life of me now, and I don't know how he did it, but he could just wiggle them, and they just go woo woo woo. I could do that one side, but not on the other side, which is really annoying. I can't raise my lip on that side without. I could do both, but I could be like, oh, that's disgusting, and then I can't do it on this side. It's really bizarre, and I don't know why. Can everyone do both sides, and I'm just a freak, or what? I just don't get it. Loads of stuff like that is obviously quite useless. People can obviously roll their tongues like. I can do that. I don't know if my kids can yet. I should try and get them to. I think they tried to and they were just going bleh, and it didn't really make any sense. But no, I'm intrigued now. Like, what other things can everyone do that maybe I can't, or that I could do that everyone else can't? Even in the car on the way home yesterday from my mum's, my wife was getting frustrated with me because songs were coming on the radio, and I was just kind of going no, no. She was like, at least play them to find out what they are. I said, well, I heard like the first ding and knew instantly what the song was. And she was like, but how? And I said, well, I don't know. Just in my head, I hear that bow, and I'm like, I know what that song is. I hear and I'm like, I know what that song is. And it's just like constantly, I only have to hear the very first note of all these songs to skip them, know what they are. That must just come from practice. That must just be in my brain. I wish I had the knowledge in other things that I have for lyrics and the notes of songs and the pauses in songs and the timings of songs. If I could learn everything in the universe in song, I reckon I'd be a frigging genius. But my wife's like, I don't know the lyrics and stuff. I don't know when songs start or what they are or where they pause. I know when it's going to get loud and I turn it down slightly so it doesn't annoy her and stuff like that. But I don't think that's really the same thing. I'm more fascinated by the whole thinking in words thing, and that that's a bit more extreme. I mean, other than that, I've not got anything major to go on. I kind of wanted to talk about the thinking thing because I want to know if anyone else watching had a similar situation. I'd love to learn if that's quite common. If there's a group of you that all think this different way, are you like aliens or normal people, and we're the freaks because we've evolved this extra bit? Are you more evolved? Not that I'm trying to badmouth him or badmouth anyone. I just don't really get it. Is it like a thing where we evolved to think in pictures later on, or is it where he doesn't need the pictures, he gets it all properly? He can draw. I'm sure he can draw. I'm suddenly thinking now, have I ever seen the man draw a picture? But how would he? I suppose because it'd be like a line goes there and a line goes there and a line goes there and a circle goes there and I guess that's how you draw anything, but I have to ask him. Next time I see him, I might just hand him a piece of paper and say, draw a picture of a tiger, and just see if he can just doodle it out, because, yeah, I'm intrigued now. If my sister's watching this, which she better be, because she suggested the topic, then maybe she can film him and do a comment picture showing him just trying to draw from memory, because the guy's a genius. He knows frigging everything. He thinks about stuff in a different way altogether. I mean, it's an example. We were at it was on my stag do, and they said happy birthday to this girl. It was her 18th birthday. And they were like, congratulations for being 18. Have a great night on your birthday. And he leaned into us and he went, she's just turned 18. It's the start of November. Everyone in her group is presumably in the same year as her at school. How on earth is she friends with 20 people who all turned 18 before her? All of those kids, except her, are 17. They shouldn't be in this club drinking. They're breaking the law. How did a bouncer not think of this? And we all looked at him like, you should be a detective, mate. Your brain's just like, bang, I've solved the crime. He just called him out completely. He was bang on, because obviously, for me and him, for example, we both our birthdays are in August, so there was no way we'd ever get to go to any 18ths unless we snuck in. The clubs must know this thing. But we were all really sort of half impressed, half like, all right, mate, when he came out of it, because it was a very, very clever point that none of us would have ever thought of. But his brain obviously works differently, and that's why he's clever. That's why he's got like a physics degree, and he's just a frigging genius, and my degree's in something namby-pamby like programming and using other people's science to do stuff that I don't do because I'm not any good at it. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm not going to be self-defeatist or big him up too much more. I'll get a big ego. Let me know if you've got any weird things you can do that, not like, you know, if you can paint really well, or I don't know, you're an excellent sword fighter or whatever. I don't know why that came in my head. Then that's great. But I mean something abnormal, like the whole thinking in words, or you know, if anyone out there's got a black patch in their hair, I've never seen anybody else in the world with just a natural, completely different coloured piece of hair like an animal. Somebody told me there was a cricket player who had it, but I never saw evidence of this, and I'm still not convinced it wasn't just a white patch. White patches don't count because they're just dead hair. I used to have like black hair there, ginger hair at the back, blonde eyebrows, bits of red flecked in, and then just kind of brown and light brown. And people still said I had blonde hair inexplicably, which was like, what the hell? I've got sort of mousy brown hair, but it seems that one colour is now dominated as I'm going bolder and thinner and all this. But no, I'm very sad to lose my black patch. I should make this the tribute episode to my black patch. It's gone. Long live the patch. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, watch stuff, comment, like, let me know your weird stuff. And thanks very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.